You made a lot of progress. Yeah, how do you feel?
I do. I feel great. I
Yeah.
really do. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
I'm proud of myself. I really am. I stuck to it, and I don't know. I feel more, I guess, empowered
Yeah.
in a sense. Yeah.
What makes you
Because
feel empowered?
because I know what to do to get the results
Okay.
that I want. I feel a lot more educated. I think you guys provided me with the tools that I need to continue this and to maintain it. So I think that's what I'm most proud of because even, I'm gonna tell you, you're not perfect. Sometimes, you do go off course, but you see when you go off course and you get back on track, the results. So it
Yeah.
works. You just have to stick to it.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, do you feel like you feel maybe more empowered too, also because you did stick with it, just like the action of like sticking with something that was maybe challenging, or maybe at times you did fall off, but then you got back on. You're like, no, I'm going to stay with it. Like, is that a part of it as
Yeah,
well?
that's a part of it as well because it's like it's that accountability piece too, and it got to the point where if you missed a workout, you were just like, oh my god, you know, you hate it when you miss a workout.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I got to get back to it. I got to get back to it.
Yeah, that's
You
good.
know, that's
That's good. How
yeah.
long do you think it took you to get to that point?
Um, I would say probably within my just being realistic, I would say within my third, fourth month of
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's when I was really like committed,
Hmm.
um, to because a perfect example was me going out of the country. I went back, to Panama. I was nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, taking a vacation. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my workouts in. I planned on it because I was like, okay, there's a workout in the gym, but this is a family reunion. And with family reunions, there's schedules,
Yeah.
So I was like, how am I going to get this in? How am I going to get this in? And sure enough, I wasn't able to get all my workouts in, but I was cognizant of what I was eating,
Hmm.
And when I came back and I got on that scale, I did not gain any weight. And I was so proud of myself because
That's
let me
good.
tell you,
That's good.
there it is hard to find a good salad
It's
and some good vegetables. It's a lot of
a
carbs,
lot of
a
carbs.
lot of carbs.
Yeah.
And but it was just making good choices. So
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. And how old are you, Monique?
Mhm. I am 55.
You're 55, right? And how long were you kind of struggling with your weight at this point?
Um, Off and on, I would say maybe for about say about 5 years.
5 years. What was the big difference maker for you this time around? Getting down, because you're about at 200 pounds now, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What was the
I'm right at
difference
200
maker?
now. The difference maker, I think, was doing it without um, supplements.
You think that was the big difference maker for you?
That was part of it, but
Mm.
the other part was my commitment to sticking with it. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? It was like it it's more of a lifestyle change more so than anything else.
Yeah.
You understand that it's a lifestyle. And when you go to your doctor's appointment and they tell you, look, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
it's even more encouraging, you
Okay.
know. So
What?
and just I think the other part of it too was having the coaches to tell you, what you're doing, um, give you pointers, things that you may not be doing right. You on our butts about making that commitment, and sticking to it.
Yeah.
Don't get in that sometimes you get in a rut,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to pull yourself out of it and I think also having someone there to hold you accountable helps.
Yeah.
But then after a while, you can't rely on that. You have to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But like you said, like it took you about 3 or 4 months to get to the point where you feel like, almost not like yourself if you don't make your workouts, if you're not taking care of yourself. Most people don't
Yeah,
make it to the third, fourth month. They make it to the third week, maybe. So
maybe.
that's why, that part where you have that accountability is to get you to that point where you're like, you know what? When I don't work out now, I feel almost like off. It doesn't feel
You do?
good, but you got to get to that point. That's like a quarter of the year you got to get through before you feel like that, which is our goal, right? The whole point
Hmm.
when we talk to you, like we're trying to set you up a new lifestyle. We don't want this to be a fad thing where you're like, I'm just trying to go as hard as I can for 6 months and then I'm gonna go back to my normal life once I get this weight off. It's like we
Yeah.
want you to feel the difference. Let's talk a little bit more about with you going to the doctor. Before you started the program versus now. What is it? What is the conversation like with your doctor?
It was more so, okay, what are you eating? Are you exercising? How often are you exercising?
This is before.
Because yeah, this was before.
Okay.
Because the only medication that I was on, because I'm not any longer, was cholesterol. I didn't have, hypertension, and I didn't have I don't have diabetes or anything like that. But she was really trying to see, since I started your program, what it would, what my cholesterol looks like now that I've changed the way that I'm eating and things like that.
Yeah.
And I am happy to report that I don't have to take cholesterol medication anymore. So, that's another good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
So I'm on zero medication.
That's awesome. I mean, I love to hear it. No, I've been tracking your progress. Like me and Coach Kelsey go over everyone's profile pretty much every day. So I'm like, no, give her a little more push. She's almost at 200 pounds. Give her a
I
little more kick in the
know.
butt. She's almost at 200 pounds, and I know you want to get to 180.
Yeah.
But I mean, how good is it for to drop this 40 pounds over the last 6 months?
It feels great only because I may not be at the 180,
Yeah.
but because I'm incorporating the weights and things like that, I'm in my clothing as though I am 180.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense to me.
Yeah. So, yeah, I might already look like I'm 180, but I'm
Yeah.
not 180 yet. So,
Yeah.
I think even when I get to 180, I would probably look a lot smaller.
Even because you have is this the most you weight trained?
Yes. Normally, it was just I didn't do weights. I just did cardio. I didn't do weights.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Talk to me about that. Like as someone that I guess I would classify as a beginner when it comes to weight, since that's not something you typically did. What's the difference? One, how did you feel when you first started? I'm sure a bit nervous since you never really did them. How do you feel now that you've been doing them for half of a year? Let's start with those two questions first.
Yeah. Right now, I feel a lot more confident. When I go to the gym, I'm not so afraid to try different things.
Yeah.
I think before it was a little bit intimidating,
Yeah.
because you're like, okay. Now, don't get me wrong. When I was a lot younger, yeah, I was in the gym.
Yeah.
I was a track runner. So weights and stuff like that I wasn't a stranger to me. But as I got older, you kind of stray away from the gym.
Yeah.
So getting back to that and knowing, okay, what machines work what, and how many reps and how many sets, and increasing the weight like you were telling us, just don't stay at this point. Once you get to a certain, you're comfortable with this, it's time to move on, to the next, push yourself.
Yeah.
That was the I think that was the game changer there. And now I'm to the point now, if I'm not comfortable with a certain machine, I want to work on it. I even have the courage now to go and get one of the trainers that are there at the gym and say, hey, what do I do with this machine? How do I
Sure.
work this thing so I don't hurt myself?
Yeah. Yeah. I got you. But I
But
mean,
yeah,
the gym isn't a scary place where they're going to eat you, right? It's just you just got to get
yeah.
in there and try.
You just got to get in there and try. I
Okay.
think it's yeah,
How
and
did
and
you go ahead?
and not worried about people looking at you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the next thing is like, because my gym is always crowded. Oh my God,
Yeah. It's
it's
back.
crowded.
Where do you go?
Yeah, I go to Crunch
Okay.
Fitness.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say
Mhm.
Planet. I was say yeah, Planet is packed, especially in the evening. But Crunch, okay, I've heard Crunch is a pretty good gym. I've never been. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to talk about because you are in your 50s. I want to talk about how you were feeling when you were just doing cardio versus incorporating weights, just like walking around. One, how your body is like shaped or how your muscle definition is sitting on you. But just overall how you're feeling. You could talk about how you look, but also want to just how you feel internally now that you have been, focusing more on just, being stronger and lifting weights.
I feel stronger. Like I feel stronger. You look better in your clothing, but really and truly, I feel stronger. A big um, identifier that is, I have a grandbaby. It's
Yeah.
my first grandbaby, and um, that wasn't the other thing that I was concerned about is being able to get down on that floor and get back up
Mm-hmm.
with ease, right?
Yeah.
And run after this little toddler, and it's not a problem. You know,
Mm.
it's not a struggle. You're not, out of breath or you're not tired. You're like, you want to play with your grandbaby.
Yeah.
So, it's, I just feel better. You're not so swollen.
Mm-hmm.
That was the other thing, I don't know if I was retaining water or what the heck was going on, but, just my skin just feels better. It's just overall, you just feel better.
Overall, how was that first 30
Mhm.
days for you though? Was it like
It was rough.
it was it was rough?
The first 30 days was rough because, it's funny because you like the cardio day because you're not lifting weights.
Yeah.
But when you start lifting them weights, it was to the point I couldn't even sit on the daggum toilet. I was
For a little
sore. I
bit.
was like, oh my God, I can't walk. Like, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
But as you do it more often, it became a lot easier. But there were still some days as you increase the weight, here you go, you're working out that soreness again,
Yeah.
you know. But you see that each day it gets better,
Mm-hmm.
it gets better, it gets easier. And so you're like, okay, all right, I guess he knows what he's talking about.
I might a little bit, right? Just a little bit. How long would you say it takes for you to acclimate to where you're like, okay, I'm not like so sore that I can't sit down anymore? Is it after the first 30 days?
Yeah, after the first 30 days.
Imagine,
After the first 30 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
I might know a thing or
Yep.
two.
Yeah. The first 30 days, like I said, that's the worst. If you can get past that, you know,
You're good money.
you're good.
You're
And that's what I
good.
told my sister. The
Yeah.
same thing. If you could just get past the first 30 days, I got my sister to uh, do the same thing.
Yeah.
She's back in the gym because she has PCOS,
Okay.
and she's been overweight, for a very, very long time. But she's down 60 pounds
Wow.
right now.
From when
But because she was
from
supposed
when
to
you
have
started, or did she start before you? Or
no, she started, well, her doctor, and this was the whole thing. Her doctor placed her on, I guess, one of those shots to help for her to lose weight
yeah.
because she was supposed to have a hysterectomy. So she had to be within a certain weight to have the surgery.
Yeah.
And so that's what she was. She was taking the shots, but she wasn't exercising. She was just taking the shots. Yeah, she was losing weight.
Yeah.
But I told her, I said, Crystal, you got to get in the gym. I said, because if you start losing this weight, you're going to get flabby.
Mm-hmm.
And, you got to start turning some of this into muscle.
Yeah.
And she kept putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. And then, she started really, really losing the weight. And she said, you're right. I am getting flabby. I said, you got to get in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but come to find out, she doesn't need to have that surgery after all.
Yeah.
And they're able to give her some medication because she would just bleed out like all the time. But her new OBG gave her some new medication that is helping with that. And so now she feels much better.
Yeah.
She's not taking those shots anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just changing her diet and going to the gym. And she's down, like I think she's down 70 pounds now. So, I got her to sign up and she's doing weights.
Wow. That's awesome. No, that's awesome. I mean, I say it all the time. Like, if you just do your journey, other people will be influenced around you more than you talking. if you're
Yeah.
doing the work. I mean, this is really good, and I'm real happy for you. I would say if there's other women that are in their 50s that are kind of nervous about weights or not doing weights or just kind of doing cardio how you were, what's maybe like a message you'd like to give them? You know, some of your peers maybe that would like encourage them to take a step in that direction. I mean, it wasn't just weights, but that is a big part of what we do
It's a
preach.
big part of
Yeah,
it.
it's a big
Yeah,
part of
because you could
what I
do
do
cardio
preach.
all day, you
Yeah.
know. But I would say, don't be don't get dis don't be scared. Don't be afraid of the weights. I think women sometimes we feel like when we do weights, we're gonna look bulky, we're gonna look like a man, we're gonna get like these big muscles and
Yeah.
we're not gonna look as feminine.
Hmm.
And don't be afraid of that. I think weights will, if nothing else, it will help you to look even better.
Yeah.
It will shape you. And if you want to keep your figure, that's the way to go. Otherwise, you're gonna look saggy. You're gonna look saggy and
Okay.
flabby.
All right. Okay. Gotcha. I mean, do you feel like this was a good investment for you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do.
Okay.
I
Good.
do.
Do you,
I do.
do you feel
Um,
like we delivered what we talked about before you signed up?
you did.
Okay.
I have to tell you, I was a little skeptical in the
Everybody's a little
beginning.
skeptical meeting people on the internet, right? Meeting
I
people
was
on.
like, I don't know. I keep seeing this guy. I keep seeing this because I remember I've been watching you when you first started out. I think she was your girlfriend at the time. I don't think you guys were dating anymore. But when you were working out with her,
Yeah.
when you,
Yes.
what
Yeah.
was her
You've been
name?
following Britia.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I was seeing her results and how she kept her figure,
Yeah.
but she looked good,
Yeah.
and I was like, And then when you did the other young lady
Latifa
who had,
probably.
yes, her, I was like, dang, look at her. I was like, okay, maybe I'll reach out, see if this is, maybe I'll reach out, see if this is real.
See if this is real. Well, now look at
Yeah.
you. Look at you
I
now.
know I've never, and I would have never in a million years reached out to someone on the internet about something like this. Never in a million
Here
years.
you are. Well, look, we want to make more believers for sure. We want to make sure we're delivering everything we're saying we're delivering. Now, I want to get some constructive feedback from you so we can make our
Hmm.
program better. There's a lot of stuff we are adding in, but since you went through the whole 6 months now, I want to get at least one thing you can give us that we can improve that can make this even better for the next lady that you would have wished that maybe you could have had during your process.
Hmm.
And you can nitpick.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what could. I think sometimes it helps too if there are people that are in the program in your local area, that maybe you can join forces with, and maybe that's on me because maybe if I was on, because I'm like I said, I'm not always on my phone, but
Yeah.
I know you have that VIP,
The
that
Telegram.
link, yeah, the Telegram,
Did you
where
ever get in
people kind
there?
of, I did, I'm a looker versus a participant. I'm a stalker versus a, but yeah, if there was a way to know if some of these people who are on the program in your area where you can actually hold each other accountable kind of
Yeah.
in person,
Maybe if
you
you
know what I'm
guys can meet
saying?
up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like a meet and greet kind of thing, for people who are in the
Yeah.
program would be good.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, we had a platform we used before when I used to do a bunch of free challenges. I don't know if you ever got to do them, but we don't do them anymore. But it used to tell
Hmm.
you what area people were in. But yeah, I mean, you got to get involved in the community, of course, if you want to
I
meet
know.
people, right? But
Yeah.
that's something we can try to see how we can incorporate that. Everyone's a little bit different though, like especially a lot of because we do offer it's like 1-to-1, and then community is optional. Some people don't want to be super involved with other people, but then maybe they do later. But we'll see how we can. Okay, we'll
Yeah.
see how we can. Do you think it was simple enough for you to get integrated into when you first started? Like the big thing I've really been looking at is making it as simple as possible to get started because that's usually the constraint. People get overwhelmed. So for you, like
Hmm.
coming in, do you feel like it was overwhelming amount of like information and technology, or do you feel like it was like not too bad once you got started?
It wasn't too bad. I think the most, as far from a technology standpoint, I had. my biggest issue was not the app. It was the My Fitness app. That
Oh,
one was complicated. My Fitness Pal.
so maybe
That one was,
should we
yeah.
recommend a different app maybe
I don't. I couldn't sync my information
with the trainerized
with the other
platform?
one. Yeah, with the
Oh,
trainer.
okay.
That
Yeah,
was very difficult.
we only recommend that one because it links with the platform. I'm really not biased towards it at all. I would care less. So, I mean, maybe I can
Hmm.
look into some ones that may be a bit easier. I just try to make it a
Hmm.
little bit easier for you to upload your nutrition, so you're not having to like
Yeah,
screenshot it and upload it. We can kind of just see automatic. But we'll look at. But outside of
yeah.
that, it was pretty straightforward for you.
It was pretty straightforward, and I liked the menu option that was actually on that app,
Yeah.
on the fitness app,
Hmm.
because I stuck to that, within the first couple weeks
Yeah.
of doing it. Like I used that menu and kind of followed it.
Okay.
And I was glad that I had something to go by because, of course, my biggest challenge was the macros and weighing the food and the grams. And I was like, "Are you sure I'm supposed to be doing this in grams? Because this ain't a lot of food."
Well,
But get used to that, right? Because
yeah.
you're used to eating a certain amount all the time. And, I was like, is this enough protein for me? Like, really? Like, this is how much protein I'm supposed to have? I felt
Hmm.
like I needed more protein. But it was a struggle. But I stuck to it. I stuck to the plan,
How long did it take
and it
for your
worked.
body to adjust nutrition wise to eating smaller amounts of food?
It took me it was definitely a month, maybe 2 months
Yeah,
for me
it takes
to,
a little bit of time.
yeah,
Your body will
yeah.
adjust, and it's not so bad. Americans eat a lot. We eat a lot.
We eat a lot.
If you go to other countries, you're like, oh, where's the rest of the food
Yeah,
at?
yeah.
Because they eat
We
smaller.
do.
Yeah, it's really
We
crazy
do eat a
portions.
lot.
It's really crazy
Hmm.
portions. Well, all right. That's all I really wanted to just chat. And I mean, I just love when people do see it through. I know it's not easy, but I know it's super worth it. On the other end, how much better you would feel if you could just get past the first 30 days. And you just also trust. Like,
Yeah.
like you said, you're like, you were a little unsure about stuff, but like if you just trust, just give us a little trust and you just actually follow it. Like you're like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe, like you said, maybe he does know what he's talking about. Okay,
Maybe
maybe,
he does know what he's talking about. That's exactly what I said. Well, I guess this young man knows what he's talking about.
yeah. So I mean, that's all we're trying to do. How was Coach Kelsey with you?
He's great.
Yeah.
She's easy to talk to. She's encouraging. I like Coach Kelsey.
Okay,
I like
great.
her.
What?
She checks in all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she remembers things about you. Like if you said, "Oh, I'm going to be going to, my grandbaby's party or something like that."
Yeah.
The next day she's like, "Oh, so how was the party?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that about her.
Okay.
She
Good.
seems like she truly cares. So,
Yeah, we try. We try to. And that's why we don't try. I don't want to work with a million people, because we want to
mhm.
actually have relationships with you guys as we